Hello, and welcome to today's workshop, Cybersecurity in Your Small Business. By the end of today's workshop, you will have a firm understanding how to protect your business information and your customer data from hackers, spammers, and other bad actors. To start off, my name is Sterling McKinley. I have the pleasure and honor of serving as the DMV Grow with Google Digital Coach. Now, what does that mean? I teach business owners throughout the DMV how to use digital skill sets and tools to increase and grow their companies. Also, I'm a small business owner just like you. So the advice, the tips, the stress I give you today, they're not something I read online that I saw in a book. I live this stuff. I take these steps to also protect data of my business and so my small customers. Also, if you want, you can send me an email. My email is digitalcoachdmv at growwithg.co. Also, we're on social media. So if I say anything today, anything exciting that's funny, informative, if you want, be sure to share this on social media. We're on Instagram. My handle is the Sterling McKinley. Also, my program, Digital Coaches, has a program, Digital Coaches Program. All right. That being said, let's get started. We're going to start off showing you a few different examples of some of the common spam messages you may see. And I'll say this before you start. It's just not on your laptop. It's your laptop, it's your phone, your tablet, any device that you can receive messages on from outside people is at a risk of being attacked. So we're going to review some of the common messages you may see and give you tips and strategies on how to identify some of those messages and text messages to make sure you don't fall victim and prey to those spam attacks. All right, here's the first one that is very common. It starts out by saying, "Wow, you were gifted $1.5 million." So that's is the first sign that the email may be fraudulent. The world doesn't work like this. If it seems too good to be true, it's probably not true. You're not going to get an email that's promising you $1.5 million. The world doesn't work that way. So that's the first key. If somebody starts out with the first sentence in the email and somebody line and they're offering you a boatload of money or millions of dollars, that's probably a sign that it's not valid. So my suggestion is to mark the email as spam and don't read it. Don't click on the links and don't respond to it. The next one is similar to the same kind of strategy. This person, they trust you with $2.5 million. So maybe your fourth aunt or grandmother, they left you an inheritance of $2.5 million. Once again, if it sounds too good, it's probably not true. It doesn't work that way. If somebody's going to send you this money or say inheritance, you'll get a phone call, you will probably get a letter in the mail saying this. But once again, it doesn't work like this. And I also will say, don't be wary of just high numbers. So spammers are getting really smart now. It might be $500. It could be $1,000. So just because it's a lower amount does not mean that the email is safe. The one thing you keep in mind is it's about if they're leading with a dollar amount. Real payouts and real things do not lead with a dollar amount. So if they're starting off saying you won $100, you won 50, 500, or a million, that's the first sign that it's probably not valid because they're leading with a dollar amount. And if you think about it, it's about you getting it in your emotions. Let's face it, we're all emotional people. we're adults as well, so we can regulate our emotions. But hackers and spammers know that if we get too excited or we get sad, our defenses go down. So they're hoping that the thought of getting $1 million or getting $500 or $1,000 it excites you. And you know what happens when we get excited, we don't make the best decisions. So when you get this type of message in your email or on your phone, slow down, read it, make sure it makes sense before you respond to it. The next one is also pretty common. This one you will see more on your cell phone. So remember that your email is on here. You get text messages, so you may get fraudulent text messages and fraudulent emails as well on your phone. And just because it's on your phone does not mean you can't trust it. Treat your phone and your laptop, your other devices with the same level of scrutiny, no matter where you're getting the messages at. This one is for Netflix. It says your Netflix account is on hold. Please log in to release the account or change your billing information. Once again, this is not coming from a real authorized brand. And what spammers and hackers are doing, they know that you trust different brands, whether your bank, whether it's streaming service, or credit card. They're using brands that you're all familiar with, hopefully, to make you trust that message and then click on that. Excuse me. But once again, that is not a real message. They are using that company's good name, that brand to trick you. So be very careful about that. Also, many times just think you may get a message saying that you have a charge in your bank account. And sometimes you want to have an account at the bank. They're just sending out random banks, hoping that you have an account there. They may say that you are receiving a package from a packaging services, and you probably did not order a package. But once again, they're banking on if they use things that you commonly use and work for every day, that you will drop your guard and that you will respond to that message. But be sure not to. All right, let's go back to a few more. And the next one is a ransom demand. This can be Bitcoin, this can be dollars. It really doesn't matter. But what they're trying to do is, once again, they're trying to get you emotional because if they know they get you emotional, that you're going to drop your guard. So they say, we have your business account passwords, we have incriminating pictures and videos of you, and if you don't release um, payment to us, we release those. Now, these can be true sometimes, but 99% of the time, these are not going to be valid. A person is trying to scare you, saying they have your information, and if you don't pay them the money, they're going to release that. Once again, they're trying to get you to be fearful. So the best thing I do is delete this email, mark it as spam, and not respond to it. And the last one is spammers now and hackers are getting very smart. So they want to give you some advice. They want to make it seem like they're your friend. So it may be, oh, um, it's been 6 months since you changed your password to your bank account. Log into your bank account and change your password frequently. Don't fall for that. These people are not your friends. There may be email you get from your bank or from your streaming service that's valid, but make sure in that email, and we'll talk more about that later, that it's coming from the actual brand, that the email makes sense, that the logos match, all that stuff has to match to make sure that it's coming from that correct brand. So just be careful because it's tough out there. And now with tools out there that can be used, they can write emails, they can write messages that seem really real. And one thing I learned too is you have to be careful that spammers have learned this is key, but very funny. They learn to write emails that are general, but they seem targeted. And that sounds really funny. So I'll give you a story, embarrassing story. So I was a victim once of a cyber attack. I won't go into all detail about that, but pretty much they told me to go buy something from a CVS on the corner. And it's not real because guess what? There's a CVS on every street corner. So they wrote it very general, but it's seemed like it's targeted. So be careful. Even if the emails seem like it's coming from a trusted brand or company, read through it again. And if you read through it again, you slow down, you probably will catch something that just doesn't match up. In today's workshop, we're going to cover 4 different topics. First, we're going to talk about why cybersecurity matters for every business, both big and small. Next, we'll talk about how to protect your business online. After that, we'll talk about what to do if you're attacked. And I'll pause. So I didn't bring it to you, but you are going to be attacked, whether it's 1 cent, whether it's $10, hopefully not more. Cyber criminals are out there. This world right now is so digital. We all have cell phones, we have tablets or devices. This world is going digital. So cyber criminals know that. So anything that can receive a message from an outside person is vulnerable. They're going to send messages and spam emails there trying to get your information. So once again, the chances of you being hacked in some way, they're pretty high. And not even directly. We see stories every day in the news. You go shop at your local supermarket or other convenience store, and they get hacked, and then your information is exposed. So even if you follow all the cybersecurity protocols, still you're a consumer as well. Your information is out there with other companies, and if they don't protect your data, then your data can be leaked and lost. So you have to be prepared. Even if you're doing everything right, you may be dealing with a vendor or a business who is not following all protocols or data. So you have to be on guard for when you're attacked. And last, I'm going to do a recap and give you some additional resources of how you continue to learn how to improve and to protect your cybersecurity. All right. First example, cybersecurity matters for every business. I'll say it again. Cybersecurity matters for every business. It's a common misnomer. It's a falsehood that cyber criminals only care about big companies. That's not true. Cyber criminals, they're messy. They don't care how big or small your company is. Your company can have one person. They're going to have 10 people. They can have 100 employees. They don't care. They're going to come to you with the same energy, the same bad intentions if you're a big company because they don't care because they're trying to scam and hack hundreds or millions of people. And sometimes they hit, sometimes to know. So don't think because you're a small company that cybersecurity does not matter for you. It does. And even in fact, we'll talk more about this. You being small makes you more of a target because small business owners, for some reason, believe that they're not vulnerable to cyber attacks when they really are. And that brings us to our first stat. 65% of small business owners believe that cybersecurity privacy are concerned. 65% of small business owners believe that cybersecurity is a concern. Now, you may think that's a positive number, but I think it's negative. Think about that. 35 to 40% of small business owners don't believe that cybersecurity is a concern. And cyber criminals, they know that. They know that roughly half of small business owners don't care. So are going to attack those companies because if you don't care about it, you're probably not taking the proper steps to make sure that your data of your business and your consumers, your customers are safe. And saying that, this should be 100%. And I always say I blame marketing, advertising. The latest phone, the latest social media app gets the most press and buzz, but cybersecurity is the number one concern that nobody's talking about. I'll say it again. Cybersecurity is the number one concern that no one is talking about. And why? Because let's face it, it's boring. It's not shiny. It's not new. It's all cybersecurity, but it is important. Our lives are on these cell phones, on these devices, our email addresses. So we have to protect that data because it is your life. If your email gets exposed and somebody gets a hold of your credit card number, your bank account number, it can make your life a lot harder. So it is a huge concern. And hopefully after today's webinar, you will understand that workshop. I'm sorry, you will understand that and make your cybersecurity a bigger priority. And also, 85% of small business leaders say that if they had a cybersecurity plan in place, they would feel more comfortable using digital devices. And that's just saying, once again, having a plan in place always helps. I always say you don't want to be on Google after you've been hacked, Googling what to do if I get hacked. I'll say it again. You want to be on Google looking out what to do if you're hacked after you've been hacked. So now is the time. I'll say it again. Now is the time to have a plan of attack to know what to do if you're going to be attacked. I said it earlier, chances are you're going to be attacked. So take this time. We're at the end of 2024, going to New Year. Let this be the year, the time that you take cybersecurity more importantly, and you begin to protect your data, because it really is the most important thing right now. Moving on to how to protect yourself online. Let's talk about your cyber house. So I'll tell you a story real quick, and don't laugh. We're all friends here, right? But think about your cybersecurity as a house, and I'll share a story to kind of show you the similarity. So when I was a kid, um, I had a key. My parents were working, and about every 2 to 3 months, I would forget the key to my house. And I was not sitting outside for the next 2 3 hours waiting for my parents to get home. I was cold, I was hungry, I was tired. I was gonna find any way possible to get into my house. So I checked every window, I checked at every door. We didn't have a dog house, but we had a dog door opening. I would try to get in that. I was gonna try it everywhere. I would even slide in through that small window above the bathroom or the kitchen sink. I was gonna get into the house. And I tell this story because that's how cyber criminals are approaching your business. They're not going to stop. They're going to try some vulnerability, some way to get inside and get your data. So going back to the house, how can you protect your house? One way by making sure that your information, your website, your devices are updated. So we all been there. You get these notifications on your cell phone, on your laptop, that you need to update your security patches. Do that. Do not delay it a day. Don't do it tomorrow or next month. Do that. Why? Because you are patching security flaws in your devices that's going to protect you from cyber criminals and hacks as well. So do that. Keep your information up to date. But remember, inside your house, you have the most valuable thing inside your data security, inside your house. Pictures of your kids, you have videos, you have your cell phone numbers, you have your social security numbers, you have credit cards, you have emails from your job. Everything is in this phone. So knowing that is true, when you take every opportunity to protect that data, because this is your life, your livelihood. So you have to protect this data and make sure that it's safe from hackers and other criminals. One of the most common ways that you can protect your data is by having a strong password. This is one of the keys for you. So let's dive more into that. So the first step that you can take is to create strong passwords for your account. And what I mean by that, so creating passwords that are difficult to guess. So don't have password 1 2 3 4 5 or a password in your child's name. Make it difficult, make it hard to guess. Next, keep passwords in a safe place and do not share them with people, especially people who do not need the passwords. Next thing is make sure that you use a different password for each account. I'll say it again. Use a different password for each account. Now, this is very important. So, what happens is we get down one password in our mind, and that's the same password for social media, for our banking website, or for anything. It's the same password. Or maybe it's the same password and you change it some. Don't do that. Why? Because if someone gets one of your passwords, now they access to all of your passwords, all of your accounts. So don't do that. Make sure you use different passwords. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how is that possible? So I did a some research other day, and I found out I have over 400 accounts online. 400. Now that may sound like a lot, but it's really not. We've been digital savvy for the last, let's say, 15 years or so. So if you average 10 to 12 new accounts per year in a decade, you will have a lot of accounts. So it's impossible to create passwords that are hard to guess, passwords that are unique for all those accounts. So, what I recommend doing is using something called a password manager. Password managers help you create strong, unique passwords for all your accounts. One that I use a lot is called Google Password Manager. It helps you create, save, and autofill passwords. So when you go to your social media account, when you go to your bank account, it will recognize the URL of that account and it will automatically fill in the username and password for you. Please do this because you want to be able to keep up with your passwords and keep them in a safe place. To find out more about this tool, simply visit passwords.google.com. Now, I will say if you use Google Tools and Services or Gmail, this is already kind of baked in. So anytime if you're using, let's say, a Chrome browser and you log in to a different website, Google will actually ask you, do you want to say this password? And if you see that and you want to, click yes. And now every time you log into that website, it will automatically fill in your password for you. The next one is two-step verification. Having two layers of verification or safety. This is just saying if somebody has access to your account, guess what? They probably don't have your cell phone or other physical device. So we all been there. You go to sign to your Gmail account and you sign in, you put in your password, and it says, okay, I'm setting a password to your phone. Take that password and put it back in your account, and you can log in. So it's once again the added layer of protection. And even sometimes, maybe somebody is trying to log into your account and you have your cell phone. Now you have a warning that somebody's trying to log into your account and that you can change the password. So be sure to activate this on all your accounts, whether that's Google products or everything now pretty much has a process of two-step verification. Protecting your data, apps, and equipment. Keeping your computer safe is very important. So I'll paint a picture for you. So we all been there. We're at a cafe, a coffee shop, and we order our food and we sit down at our table and we have our laptop or our tablet or our phone, right? And then 5 minutes pass and they call your name and you go to the counter to get your food or your coffee. But guess what? You left your laptop, you left your tablet, or even your phone at your seat. And true, you're only going away for a second, but the minute you turn your back, that physical device is vulnerable. Somebody can come and they can take it. They could scan it. They could upload viruses or malware on a device. So my number one tip is do not leave your physical devices out of your sight. If you do, trust me, in a split second, somebody can do something to steal information, or worse come worse, even steal your device. So once again, do not leave your computer unattended. Also, make sure you use a lock screen. So after, let's say, 5 or 10 minutes of inactivity, that your computer locks and you have to put a password in order to open it up. Next, make sure that you only give people access to services that are required to do their job. So, example of that, your graphic designer does not need the password to your accounting software. Okay. So only give people access to services and devices they need to do their jobs. Next thing is do not trust unknown USB devices. So if you see a flash drive sitting around in public, don't take it and put it in your computer. Use a new one that you know, or one that you earn. Why? Because sticking in that device in your computer could install malware or software that you don't even see. And that's the thing. It will install software to your computer that you won't even know it's been installed. You think you'd be fine, but it could be tracking your keystrokes. So it could be stealing your passwords. It could be recording your screen. You don't know. So do not put any trusted USB device or flash drive in your computer because you do not know what's on that flash drive. Keeping your mobile device safe. And many of the recommendations I gave for keeping your computer safe, the same goes for your mobile device. Do not let out your sight as well. and make sure that it's safe. So if you can on your company, you have employees, require employees to have encrypted devices. All that means is that the data on that device is scrambled. So if somebody does get that data, they can't make sense of what it's saying. Next, require a PIN to unlock your device. The same thing as your tablet or your laptop. Have a PIN number, have a code you put in to unlock your phone. And also, here's the big one: allow remote data wiping. I'll say it again: allow remote data wiping. All this means is, let's say you lose your phone, let's say it gets damaged or stolen. Don't worry, you have remote data wiping activated. So you can log into your computer or device, and remotely you can wipe all the data off this device. So this device is nothing. So yeah, you lost your cell phone, it got stolen. But guess what? Now the person who has a device has an empty or blank phone. This can be found in your security settings, no matter what phone you have. You can activate a setting where you can remotely wipe that device. So if you do lose it or is misplaced, that no information is on that device. That's a very good feature, especially when you lose your device, being able to remote wipe the information. Future tips, as always, keep your software up to date. Avoid using software that does not offer a security option. And the biggest one is establish policies for limiting shared data and personal devices. So, for example, maybe you say to your to your employees that you cannot log in on your personal device to access company email. So maybe you get them a separate device, a separate phone to access the email. Or maybe they can't access the email on their mobile device. It has to be on a laptop, because what you want to do is you want to mitigate the risk. So this is a key thing. So you have to treat your personal information and your business information the same way, because let's face it, especially if you're a small business owner, a lot of the information is commingled. It may be on the same device. So you log in to check your personal email and your business email on the same device. So guess what? If somebody gets into your personal information, they now have access to your business information and vice versa. So the best way to cut down on that is to use separate devices. That way, if somebody gets access to one device or phone, they don't have access to the other one. Protecting your customers. To this point, we talked a lot about protecting yourself and your data, but you're a small business owner. So it is about protecting your customer data as well. So all the steps I gave you, they really relate to your customer by protecting your data, by using good passwords, two-step verification, remote data wiping. You're actually protecting your customer data. But I want to give you some more tips and strategies on how you can protect your customers' data. The first one is by having a secure website, something installed called HTTPS, stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So if you ever log into a website and you see a lock icon on the top of the screen, the address bar, that means that information is safe. That means the information is scrambled, encrypted. It can't be easily stolen. So this is usually installed on your website. If you are accepting payments, or even if you're not, this is a key. Make sure your website is secure, so the information that your customer is sending you is safe, and that it cannot be accessed by hackers or spammers. You also want to make sure that you are protecting your email. So use an email provider that supports encryption, that supports another layer of security called TSL, and also using two-step verification. Some tips for being more responsible with emails: don't open suspicious emails. Be careful when clicking on a new email and clicking on an attachment, downloading a file, or visiting a new website. Why? Because these links could be installing virus or malware in your computer or your laptop, or taking you to a website that is going to try to steal your data. So be careful about clicking on email attachments, downloading files, or viewing new websites. Also, do not click on links in unsolicited emails. If you're getting an email from a new person that you never heard of that's offering you some service, even if it sounds good, do not click on those links. Why? Because you don't know that person and it's coming from an untrusted source. The last one is look out for suspicious email addresses and signatures. So the email, if it's something funky, it's not their name. There's random characters in there. It doesn't make sense. Don't open it. Also, the email signature. If the email signature doesn't have their name, their picture, their company, their email address, or their phone number, once again, these are all signs that it may be a suspicious email, and it would benefit you not to click on any of that information. Also, I want you to be aware of phishing scams. Once again, phishing scams simply are this when a legitimate or authorized email is coming from a brand. Let me say it again. So, phishing attacks are when hackers or spammers try to make the email, the text look like it's coming from an official brand. So, once again, they're using brands that have a level of trust that people are familiar with to get you to drop your guard. So, you have to be really careful. Look at the email. Make sure the colors are right, the logo is right. Look at the email address it's coming from. Look at the email footer, subject line. All these things tell you whether it's real or not, but be very careful that you do not click on the email that is a phishing scam. And that's simply when a brand is pretending, or a scammer or hacker is pretending to be a trusted brand and they're actually not. How to spot email spam? A few ways. So first, the first one we already talked about, look at the subject line. If the subject line is a threat, if it's an unplanned expense, if it's a dollar amount, something urgent. Once again, they're trying to get you to act out of your emotions. So the subject line, if it's too good to be true, if it's saying, pay now, you owe this money or you get this money, it's probably not valid. Also, if it's coming from unknown sender, is a sign. So email for me would say Sterling McKinley. If the email says no sender or unknown sender, then it's probably a spam email. Also, if there's no profile picture, that could be a picture of my face or a picture of your logo. If it doesn't have that, you should look out for it. Also, this is getting harder to um, read or tell, but if there's poorly written copy, if there's spelling mistakes, if there's grammar errors, that things that don't make sense, once again, that's a sign that it's probably a spam email. And the last one, if there's random attachments on there that say click here to learn more, that could include a virus that can be installed on your laptop, also on your mobile device. Do not click on that link. Can you spot the difference? Now, probably not because my screen's not huge, but these are two different logins to emails. And from first glance, they look exactly the same. You cannot tell which is different. And this is what I was saying earlier about phishing attacks. You have to take that time to lean in to make sure that you can spot the changes. So, first one, once again, the URL isn't right. Instead of having www.google.com, it's some crazy URL. There's unknown sender. There's no picture profile. Once again, that can tell you. So luckily, if you're like me, you use Gmail. Gmail takes blocking spam very seriously. They block 99.9% phishing attempts or malware from reaching you. So once again, use a provider like Gmail that takes cybersecurity important, and they could do their best to filter out and block spam messages that are sent to you from fraudulent email addresses. Summarize the other thing I said, think before you click, before you hit that button, open that email. Think about what you're doing. That's going to save you so much heartache. Just slow down and think before you click. Also, you want to plan ahead. Once again, you don't want to be Googling what to do when you're hacked after you hack. Plan ahead. Ways you can do that is by having a plan ready. You can outline who's in charge of what and what needs to be done. So if something does happen, you're not scrambling, you know what steps to take. And also make sure you take quick action because when it comes to being hacked, time is money. So the instant that you reply, that you open an email that you think is not legitimate, take action right away. Do not sit and wait because things will get worse. The next thing you want to do is create a list of tech assets. And this could be a Google sheet, and you have a list of the platforms and tools you have, a list of your physical devices. Ask yourself in that sheet, are they up to date or not? Um, what accounts do you have? What hardware do you use? You want to have a list of your hardware. You may have old laptops and old devices and old phones you don't use. Make a list of all the devices and make sure the devices are either destroyed or all the data is wiped from those devices. You want to have a clear policy what to do. That can be having a internal training website. That can also make sure that you publish the information of who is the data security specialist. Is there a person at your company that can take charge when there's an attempt on your company information? Have a person identified in your company that can take action and take charge. You also want to create a security culture. This is very important. So, this should be something that you're talking about. Going back to what I said, this is the number one concern right now. So, your employees should talk regularly about cybersecurity and about how but he's safe. You should also encourage people to be open because spammers and hackers are counting on that somebody gets hacked, somebody loses money, and they're quiet about it and they're ashamed. No, we have to share our stories, share what's going on so other people do not fall victims of that. And the last one is as a leader, you have to lead by example, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your workplace, that you are taking good cybersecurity steps. So don't tell your employees what to do and you're not doing it. Make sure that you are also modeling and you being a good ambassador of also cybersecurity. What to do if you're attacked? I said this before, but the chances are you're going to be attacked. In this section, we'll talk about what to do to lessen that from happening. So, the first thing you need to do is protect your banking and credit card information. You want to contact your bank, your credit card companies, and other financial institutions. You also want to check your credit report and check your account for any loans or lines of credit you don't recognize. Also, be sure to report any fraudulent charge on your account. I don't care if it's $1 or it's 10 or $100. Report any fraudulent charge that you don't recognize on your account. The last thing is considering placing a fraud alert or a freeze on your account. That way, nobody else can use that account or nobody can open a line of credit on your credit as well. So, take these steps to protect your data and do this the minute you think that you may have been a victim of a cyber attack. Protect your data because time really is money. The next thing is you have option to file a report with the local police. You can also file a report with IC3, which stands for the FBI's Internet Crime Compliance Center. That site is www.ic3.gov. And the great thing about the site is, once again, share what happened to you because you may have been a victim, but sharing your story will help somebody else not become a victim of a cyber attack. So be sure to report and share your story so it doesn't happen again to someone else. You can also contact the Federal Trade Commission. You can report fraud, scams, or other bad business practices at at reports fraud.fcc.gov. You also can report identity theft to www.idtheft.gov. Next steps. We talked about a lot of things today, but here's the biggest one. Change your passwords. If it's been 6 months, if it's been a year, if you can't remember the last time you changed your password, let today be the time that you change your passwords, that you use a password manager to have unique passwords for every account. That has to be important. The next thing is seek professional technical support. So if you think that ransomware or malware has been installed on your computer device, it is made in a way where you, the user, can't detect it, but it's there. Only a trained expert can get behind the scenes and be able to remove that malware from your device. Also, what you can do is to continue to monitor and check your credit report and also your financial accounts. Moving on to recap and resources. All right, we talked about a lot of things. So, first one, like I just said, use strong passwords and consider using a password manager to help you keep track of all those passwords. Also, on all your accounts, make sure you log into your settings and you enable two-step verification. What it's going to do is when you log in, it will send a password or a confirmation to your mobile device, and that way you can sign in. Also, remember to keep your equipment safe, including mobile phones. Going back to our example with the cafe, do not leave your devices unattended even for 1 second. Pick up your tablet, pick up your device, and walk around. Do not leave those unattended. The next thing is make sure that you have a secure website that uses HTTPS. That's going to scramble the information on your website and make it harder for people to get the information. Also, use the email provider like Gmail that offers encryption as well. And make a plan because at some point you're going to be hacked. So make a plan of what to do. Make a plan of all your tech assets, of all your cell phones or tablets that are in use or not in use as well. And the last one is the most important one is develop and nurture a security culture. This has to become a way of life, something you always think about, you talk about. This can be in your home and also your business, but it has to become second nature, especially in this new digital economy. Cybersecurity is could continue to be one of the hottest topics. Why? Because as digital adoption grows, the number of cyber attacks is going to grow with that. So keeping your data safe and secure is the number one priority for your business because let's face it, you worked hard to grow your business to get clients to make money. We always talk about how to get more money, how to make more sales, more customers, but let's keep what we have. So let's safeguard what you have. That's where you start. So getting new customers, new clients is great, but let's keep what you have. Keep that data safe because that's the way you continue to grow. Once again, especially in this data heavy economy. More tips from Google. Simply visit Google Safety Center for tips on how to keep your account safe online. There's also a security checkup that provides recommendations to help strengthen the security of your Google accounts. Simply visit safety.google. Also, if you want to keep learning more, we have a channel on YouTube called Grow with Google. This channel is filled with expert videos to tell you more about growing your skills, your career, your business. This channel is updated regularly with fresh videos and content that can help you grow your skills, your business, and your career. Also, we offer something now called Google Career Certificates. These are certificates that are in high demand job that employers are hiring for right now. So no matter your knowledge level, these are self-paced certification that you can get in various topics from analytics to advanced analytics, business intelligence, IT support, user design, project management, and of course, cybersecurity. To get started and find out more, simply visit grow.google/certificates. With that being said, thank you for your time. Right here, there's a QR code on the screen. Simply scan this QR code with your phone or go to g.co/grow/feedback and fill out a brief survey to let the people at Growth Google know how you enjoy this website, this workshop. With that being said, and your day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.